So as a system, that is necessary, vital, and beautiful in terms of how efficient it is at handling information, how quickly it's able to react, and how many options it has available to it to protect us. But because of the way that we have evolved, we are very focused on protecting ourselves, and sometimes that can be to the exclusion of doing things that would add value to our lives. So if we think about it, if the system is potentially contracting our muscles a lot to protect us from movement and making a lot of pain, the combination of those two is likely to mean that we are less able to participate in movement and activity.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Which may be very protective for these tissues. However, it might also limit our participation in a whole range of things that normally help to maintain our physical, emotional, social, and spiritual health. But it might also result in us having less access to new data that can update what we know. And so the system can get stuck in making the same predictions because it's got no information to tell it to do something different.
It's blocking out any new...
Well, it doesn't have access to because you're not able to do them.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
But also, if your muscles are working much harder than normal, that's actually going to put more load on sensors, and you're going to have to work harder. So you tire out more easily than you would normally. And if those muscles are working particularly hard, they might start to activate their own danger sensors, and so you get a new source of information into the system. If there are prolonged changes in how you're breathing, that tends to make the nervous system more sensitive. And similarly, if there are prolonged changes in the hormones, those stress hormones, that will also tend to make the system more sensitive. And so if the nervous system is more sensitive, what that means is it takes less danger in order to activate those danger sensors. And also the amount of information that might be sent up the chain for each time a danger sensor is activated might be greater.
Okay.
So you can get a great amplification of how much danger information is arriving for the system to have to decide and prioritise.
Sort of positive feedback and all sorts of different mechanisms.
Yep. And then, you have to, as you navigate the health system, there are theories that might be thrown up about what's causing your problem, and they may suggest to the system that this is bad. And so if what's happening is not good, well, that's likely to make that information interpreted as being more dangerous. Or if over time it has a large impact on what you're able to do in your life, well, that reinforces that it's not very good. But also, if it means that it starts to feel different, particularly if, it's feeling vulnerable, well, that means that doing things is more dangerous. And so the system might therefore interpret the information from the danger sensors as being more dangerous than previously. And then in addition to that, it might start to focus more on those areas so that it can do a better job of protecting them. And so there are a range of different factors within the system that all contribute to it becoming more sensitive over time, less able to access information that suggests that maybe you don't need to be protected, and handles that information differently that can result in you being protected at lower and lower levels of stimulation or load. And I think that's what your experience suggests, where it took initially 100 kilometres of cycling before you got these symptoms, then it happened after 40 kilometres, and now those symptoms will come on after 4 to 6 kilometres of cycling.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Does that make sense?
It does.